Imagine if someone like Bill Gates promised to give you the secret to becoming rich. You'd probably sit up and pay close attention, right? Well, this might sound a little bit weird, but I promise you it works. You know, I used to have 2 jobs. I was cleaning toilets for a living in both of them, one in a supermarket and the other in a school. And I'd get up at around 4 a.m. every morning and it was horrible. So every day at work, I'd start to daydream about becoming rich, and not just financially rich, but also mentally and emotionally rich, you know, feeling proud of my life and having an abundance of freedom. I'll tell you more about that, but can you do me a favor? Because I want you to tell me what your goal is. Tell me in the comments right now why you're doing this. Tell me what you want your life to look like and why you are building your internet business. And I'm asking you to do this because when we write things down, they become a little bit clearer and easier to understand and easier to achieve. And I really wish I knew all this kind of stuff years ago, because you see, back when I was working those jobs, I'd have these imaginary conversations, arguments really, with my boss, where I'd march into her office, I'd tell her that I quit, that I fired her. But at the time, I didn't know how to make any of that happen. And I dropped out of school to go work in a school. So I had no education, I had no skills, no real life experience. And I felt like I was kind of trapped in a dead-end job, 2 dead-end jobs with bosses who really didn't like me. And in truth, even when I thought I'd kind of figured it out, it actually really took me over a decade to really figure out how to make money on the internet. And again, not just the money, but the freedom too, because there's no point in making all the money in the world if you don't have the freedom or the time to enjoy it, right? So that's why I chose passive income. And when I started a hobby site way back in 2004 and decided to go full-time online, which was a big mistake. It actually took me around 3 years to get any kind of significant level of traffic. And even then, I still didn't know how to monetize it properly. I mean, who'd have thought becoming rich would be hard work, right? So when I did eventually figure things out, it turned out that the secret to becoming rich was actually staring me in the face all along. And you only need 3 things to do it. So I'll tell you what those 3 things are. And they might sound a little bit weird or counterintuitive, but it is honestly what works for me and for my students. And if you want to know the strategies that they are using, I'm going to give you 2 extra free courses at the end of this lesson. So stick around for those, because you see, as weird as it sounds, the first secret to becoming rich is to actually stop focusing on the money. And that's because the amount of money you make is directly proportional to the amount of value you deliver. I'm going to say that again because it's possibly the most important lesson you will ever learn. The amount of money you make is directly proportional to the amount of value you deliver. Think about that for a second, because if you ignore that principle, or if you go looking for a shortcut, then you're going to stay in exactly the same place where you are right now. You're going to continue to struggle. You're going to still try to figure out this digital marketing stuff and never really make it click. You're going to continue to probably work for somebody else, continue to feel trapped. You're going to continue to daydream just like I used to. But when you embrace this lesson, it changes everything. And okay, it doesn't happen overnight and it does take a lot of hard work. But if you're consistent, then your life will slowly, over time, begin to change, because success and wealth becomes a consequence of the value you deliver. I'm going to say that again. Success and wealth becomes a consequence of the value you deliver. And whatever constitutes as value in your world is going to mean different things depending on the industry. But I'm going to assume that you want to make money on the internet. And if you're anything like me, then you probably want to make passive income because you value your time and you want more freedom and security. So you probably know that it is absolutely possible, but it might feel like there's this missing piece of the puzzle that nobody is sharing with you. I'm going to share it with you. And most importantly, to really get this through so you have the right expectations, I'm going to say that you are probably very realistic about what is possible, that you probably have your feet firmly planted on the ground. And that's important because when it comes to delivering value on the internet, you have to do it in a real, authentic way. So how do you deliver value on the internet? Well, ask yourself this question, okay? Why do people go on the internet in the first place? Really think about that, and look at yourself and I think, why do you go on the internet? Well, way back in 1996, I read a life-changing quote from Bill Gates. He said, "Content is where I expect much of the real money will be made on the internet." Now, the term content is pretty much open to interpretation. So I'm going to share what's working for me and for my students. And the biggest question that I had when I think about when I first started out was, what do I write about? Well, the answer is actually really simple. So if you're struggling to figure out what type of content to make or what do you write about, well, the answer is you write about what you know. So you write about your experiences, you write about your successes, your failures, and you find the lesson in each of them, and then you share that lesson. So you tap into your own life experiences, and then you bring that to the page. And in doing so, that immediately makes you more human. And to communicate in a way that appears human on the internet is actually very powerful. So share your wins and also share your pains, share your aspirations, and share your journey to get there. The steps you're going to take. And if you want to enter a niche or a niche where you don't have much experience or any contacts to leverage or any real results to show, then that's okay. You can still do that. So the trick, the approach to that is to just be honest with people. People will still follow you even if you don't have amazing results to show. Remember that people are following multiple people in different niches. They're not just following you and no one else. They're following loads of different people. So you can be one of the people that they follow, even if you don't have those amazing results. And it actually, in some cases, that can actually work to your benefit. But the point is, if you're consistent, then people will follow you because you have the courage to reach for what you want, which is the same thing they want. So in doing so, you're going to motivate and inspire them, just by sharing your journey. So page 1 of your brand new website should be all about you. It should be about your mission, your hopes, your dreams. And then from that point onwards, you start to document your journey. So if you're trying something and it doesn't work out, that's okay. Write it down and share it. Don't hide your mistakes. Mistakes are what make us human. You'll notice I keep my mistakes in the videos. I can easily edit them out, but I don't because that's authentic. It's real. It's the real me, right? And I'd much rather be hated for who I am than loved for someone I'm not. So don't hide your mistakes, and who knows, maybe you can save other people from making those same kind of mistakes. Or maybe they can help you to improve things. The internet is a two-way street. It's a dialogue. It's a conversation back and forth. So in order to do that, you have to be authentic. You have to be real. You have to be honest. So as weird as it might sound, the first part of the secret to becoming rich in all senses of the word, is to stop focusing on the money and start sharing valuable educational content instead. And then the second part, the second secret to becoming rich is to ask people to take action. So while you're creating this valuable educational content, you're also asking people to do something that will benefit your business. Now, it could be to share your content, or if you're smart about things, it could be to do something that benefits them and you. So it benefits both of you, such as purchasing a product or joining your email list. And whatever you ask them to do is going to depend on your business model. And if you've delivered enough value, then you bet they are going to take action if it means that they can get more value from you. It's as simple as that. And then the third part of the secret to becoming rich is, I've already mentioned it a couple of times, but it really is to be consistent. Work on your business every day, make it part of your routine. Even if that's just 20 minutes a day, that's okay, because over time, that effort compounds and it begins to snowball, and then it just takes on a life of its own. And when you're consistent with this, you honestly will not believe what kind of amazing results you can achieve. Like Matt, he's one of my students. He's making millions of dollars online thanks to my training. So if you want to know the secret and you really are serious about building a profitable internet business, I'm going to give you 2 free courses to help you do it. So the first one is going to show you how one of my students went full-time on the internet with passive income in his first 180 days. You can get that for free when you go to profitcopilot.com/180. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. And the second course, well, because traffic equals money, the second free course will show you how I got over 30,000 website visitors every day for free. And you can get that when you go to profitcopilot.com/traffic. And I'll put links to both of these in the description for you. And if you found this useful, give it a thumbs up below, subscribe to the channel too, hit that little notification bell so you never miss an update from me. And I will hopefully see you again in a couple of days' time. Take care.